men, many men wish death upon me, dog. I don't cry no more. Now, he was talking about how people wanted Mike McCarthy out of there, and he stuck up for him. Obviously, we all know number 87 has been a stallion for the Dallas Cowboys. One of the many men who wanted to wish death upon Mike McCarthy's tenure at the Dallas Cowboys is this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky. Dano! Ferguson was tweeting directly at you and the others that wanted big Mike McCarthy out of Dallas. We just heard Mickey Lumis in between gum chews directly into it. Yeah, okay. Oh, my God. I'm losing my mind. I can't even do it. What's that called? It's called something.
Misophonia or something like that?
Because your dad.
Yeah, my dad chews, and I can't, like, it literally drives me crazy. And I always thought I was soft, but it turns out it's actually a thing that a lot of people potentially have. Misophonia or something like that. Whatever the case. You've been calling for big change down there in Dallas. Now that he's around, after you heard him speak today, does it change? What are your thoughts on the Cowboys going forward? Because your initial thought, I think a little emotional response on Twitter was not serious about winning a Super Bowl, all talk. So where do we stand as of this moment? And what happens if big Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott just come Dak all over your face next year?
Yeah, that's a weird word. Listen, I thought on Monday change was needed, given how the game went. Not that they just lost, given how the game went. Is it the right decision? I think it's a mistake to keep Coach McCarthy. We'll find out in a year. This is what's going to happen. The Cowboys will be really good next season. Everyone will go, well, is this the time? Is this Dallas's best chance? And we'll all probably go like, yeah, because they're really good. And then they'll go to the playoffs and they'll lay an egg like usual. So, that's just what they are. Like that's
how. So let me hear this. Let me hear this out of Big Mike McCarthy's camp, or from you, I guess. Stephen A. laid out he was like, he had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Now he's got Dak Prescott. And Stephen A., I think he alluded to how you guys tell me he's great. He only has one Super Bowl throughout this entire thing or whatever. His offense is, though, always renowned as good. Always. Right? It feels like Mike McCarthy's. So he's obviously reaching the offensive players, motivating the offensive players, inspiring the offensive players in the locker room. Why do you think he potentially, or the Cowboys inevitably, are being labeled as a team that just their last game of the season will be a lay of an egg? Why do you think that happened to the Dallas Cowboys? Do you think maybe they just didn't have a good one and it all came together in a spot where the Green Bay Packers, the fifth scariest quarterback, Jordan Love, was, that's on your list, was Dyson? Like, why do you think it happened? And how is Mike McCarthy potentially the one that should shoulder the blame for what happened to the Cowboys? In your eyes. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, well, why it happened is it was a bad matchup from the beginning because of the things that Green Bay excels at. They put Jordan under center. They go a ton, 12 personnel. They run a ton of pre-snap motion and play action. That is stuff that throughout this season, Dallas has struggled with. The next level is they were absolutely outcoached. There's no question about it. Dallas defensively aligned multiple times against the looks that Green Bay had, and you were sitting there going, there's no way that you can, human being wise, stop a team from running the football here. And that's what happened. Or they handled motion. Dude, I have clips, Pat, where they would motion Jaden Reed, Green Bay would be. And if you're a Packers fan, you know that kid is unbelievably talented and fast. And they would run a linebacker with him in man coverage. That's bad coaching. Dan Quinn knows 1,000% more football than I do defensively, but that's bad coaching. And then offensively, I had someone look this up. Green Bay, who is not been good on defense this year. Bryce Young and Tommy DeVito played against them and got NFC Players of the Week. This past week was the closest they have been coverage-wise when it comes to like some of the numbers that say average yards of separation. That was their average yards of separation, when it means like their defenders to the offensive team, was the closest they've been all year. So that tells me they had a pretty good beat on what Dallas was trying to do, or pretty good feel for what Dallas was trying to do. So that game, yes, they were exposed personnel-wise. We knew they don't have defensive tackles or inside linebackers, but to get completely woodshedded like that is coaching. But then that goes back to last year. Like, they were outcoached again in the San Francisco game. 2 years ago, that game ends because of a clock management situation. So, that's why you sit there and go, no question Mike McCarthy's a good coach. No question. But at some point, we can't. That's why I said you're not serious about a Super Bowl, because if you were serious about a Super Bowl, you could sit there and go, Coach McCarthy's a good coach, not good enough for us to get to the Super Bowl.